What's up guys, welcome to your 14th XHTML and CSS tutorial, and in this tutorial I want to talk to you guys about table width. But before I get started, I want to tell you guys that if you're following along with my last tutorial, you'll notice that I took out that big title at the top that says odd people, because for this tutorial it'll just confuse you if you leave it in. So go ahead and take that out and make sure that your table only has regular table headers and table data in it. So once you have a basic table, you can continue. So what I want to talk to you guys about, like I said, is table width. Now by default, whenever you create a table, it's going to adjust the width automatically to however long the longest piece of data is. So this is the longest piece of data. So that is how long the column needs to be. And you see this column is shorter, so that's why this is that short. So it makes sense, right? But what if you say, alright, the table would look a lot better on my webpage if it was just a little bit wider. Well, actually, this is possible with XHTML, and it's really simple to do. You can adjust the width of your table in two ways. Aside from border, table has another attribute called, can you guess it? Width. There you go. 1 point for you. And you can adjust the width, like I said, in one of two ways. The first thing that you can do is just write a number. And whenever you write a number in there, it will adjust to that many pixels exactly. So let's go ahead and save this and refresh and check it out. It now adjusts to 500 pixels. So now your table is 500 pixels wide, regardless of how long the data is inside it. So that's pretty cool. Another way you can adjust the width is to give it a percentage. And if you go ahead and give it something like 100%, it's going to adjust to 100% of the width of your website. So let's go ahead and save this and check it out. It now takes up 100% width. So if you go ahead and shrink this, check it out, it's still taking up 100% no matter how small or how long it goes. It changes dynamically based on how wide your browser is. So we're saying, all right, I don't know how big their screen is going to be, but I know I want my table to take up 100% of the space. That is how you can use that, a percentage of, instead of a number, what would just be pixels, you can use a percentage. That's what I was trying to say. So that is how you can adjust the width of your table. And now I want to talk to you guys about another thing that you can add. And let's go ahead and get rid of this width because it will just confuse you. So let's go ahead and keep the border. And now I want to talk to you guys about a concept called cell padding and cell spacing. So let's go ahead and save this and refresh it. Let's see, there we go. Refresh until we just got a normal table. You might be saying, alright Bucky, this table is looking pretty dang good, but everything's just too clustered together. I need some space in between this text and the border, or I just kind of need things spaced out some more to make it easier to read. Well, that is also possible with XHTML, and you do that with an attribute. There's two different attributes. One's called cell padding, and one's called cell spacing. Let's go ahead and start with cell padding. Cell padding is the idea that it gives you space between your text in this case and the border. So whatever content is inside, in this case the word cat people, and the border, you can write an amount in there, and that's how many pixels it's going to give you to space. So let's go ahead and make this 10 pixels and check it out. You see how everything's kind of tied up, the text is kind of bumped up against the border? Let's refresh it and check it out. We now have some padding around the text or the contents of your table and the border. So, I mean, that's what cell padding is. Pretty much puts pads in your cell. Maybe that's where they come up with it. Who knows? So now let's change over to something called cell spacing. Cell spacing? What? I was going to say spell chasing, I think. What the heck does that mean? Cell spacing is the idea that you have space between your cells themselves. So instead of having padding around your text, you're going to be having space between your individual cells. So let's go ahead and refresh this. You hear that siren? Let's see what's going on. Probably just a bank robbery or a homicide or something. No big deal. I'm just going to keep talking. So let's go ahead and refresh this. Yeah, that's kind of annoying and it's kind of distracting me. So yeah, it's getting louder. Oh my god, they're coming right here. Anyways, so now you can see that cell spacing is the space between the cells themselves. The text is still bumped up against the border, but the cells are separated from each other a little bit, kind of like giving yourself a thicker border. So anyways, that's the difference between cell padding and cell spacing. A lot of people get that confused, but hopefully I explained it so you guys understand what it means. And now you would know when to use one and when to use the other. So between, adjusting your border, your table width, your cell padding, and your cell spacing, and also with col span and stuff, you can pretty much get any type of table that you want. So there is basically the basics to tables. So now that you guys understand this, you're ready to move on to the next subject. What it is, I don't know. But anyways, it's going to be awesome. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out my website. And I will see you guys next video.